you just got to have faith, knowing that what you're doing and everything is going to work out in the right way. As long as you have the right people around you, the right mentorship, the right work ethic, you're good to go.
Guys, welcome to Ask the Experts with Alka. I am so excited to be talking to an amazing entrepreneur, an amazing guest for today. My name is Alka Sharma. I'm the host for today on the show, and the show brings on amazing entrepreneurs who are really making dynamic moves, who are inspiration to so many people. And today, my guest is Kish Bali. Kish, welcome to the show. So glad we could have you.
Thank you, Alka. Honestly, thank you so much for having me on this show today as well. You know, I'm extremely excited. I've been looking forward to this talk so much, you know, because there's so many things that I'm so eager to share. You know, things that I've heard on my journey, you know, which I'm always about, you know, sharing is caring, right? So I'm so excited for this. So thank you for having me on. And yeah, I can't wait to
welcome. Yeah, no, you're welcome. Because I wanted to have you on because your story is inspiration. And you know, I like to talk to entrepreneurs who are making moves, who have gone through struggles, who have experienced those struggles. Because let's face it, if we haven't experienced those adversities and challenges in life, it doesn't make us, we don't grow, because we don't learn from our mistakes and what we've gone through. So if Kish, you can share with us, who is Kish Bali and what is your story? How can the viewers learn from you? What can we learn from you today?
Definitely. No, thank you, honestly, Alka. So yeah, so obviously, you know, my name is Kish Bali. I'm 27 years young, based in London, England, and you know,
I like
being
that,
born
27
and
years
raised
young.
here. God always have the flip sides here, right? But yeah, you know, Kish Bali, 27 years young, and I've been in the space of entrepreneurship now for about 4 years. Got into it, you know, at the age of 23. And it's been a roller coaster of a journey, I must say so myself. I am actually a primary school teacher. So I actually started, you know, teaching at the age of 21. So, you know, a bit of a background story as well. You know, I went to university. I graduated, you know, with a BA honors in teaching. And then straight away after I graduated, I straight away went into a job at the age of 21. Now my friends, you know, at the time who I was with, you know, some who I'm still very close friends with now, they actually didn't end up getting jobs straight away. They were, you know, job hunting a lot, you know, trying to find work here and there. So I was quite fortunate, you know, to go into work straight away at the age of 21. And it was a big eye opener because, you know, I was working, you know, 5 days a week as a teacher, building my career up, you know, and, you know, getting to know the systems and building up things from there. And you know, 2 years forward, so actually, you know, yeah, age of 23, I've been working 2 years now. I'm seeing some of my friends who have just got jobs, you know, 2 years later from when we graduated, and here I am, you know, I've been working for 2 years already. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not a huge amount of time, but for me, you know, seeing in my school at the time, there were a lot of teachers who were a lot older than me. You know, a few teachers were 30 to 35. Some teachers, we know 45 to 50. And, you know, I don't mean this in a negative way, but let's just say they were very unhappy, sort of thing. They were very unhappy, okay? And, you know, for me, I love asking questions. So I would ask them, I'd be like, oh, you know, how's your day been? How, you know, it comes on to Monday. Oh, you know, hey, happy Monday. You know, how was your weekend? And the responses I was always getting was, oh, can it just be Friday already? And we're only on Monday. We're only on Monday.
Exactly.
And they're wanting it to be Friday again. And I'm like, okay, something's not right here. Like, is it just like, what's going on? I don't understand. Because we're wishing, you know, we only have 7 days in the week. And people like this were wishing 5 days of the week away, you know.
Exactly. They were thinking ahead.
Exactly. Yeah, they weren't being present in the moment. They were just trying to look ahead. But the fact is, they kept looking far ahead every single week. Before you know it, a month would pass, a year would pass, and things like that. So obviously, I'm asking, I'm like, right, what's going on?
Right.
And I remember I spoke to one teacher, you know, who was 40 at the time. Really, really nice, you know, really nice lady. She really helped me a lot. She gave me a lot of valuable advice in my career as a teacher, and I have the utmost respect for her. But she said something to me which kind of set a few alarm bells going off within me. And she said to me, you know, she was like, I'm just extremely tired. You know, I have a family that
Yeah.
I need to take care of. I'm also working here full time. I also have to do this outside of work and this outside of work just to make ends meet. And I was like, what do you mean to make ends meet? She's like, you know, well, I have bills to pay. So I'm doing all of these things and I'm just burnt out right now. So this is obviously me hearing this as a 23-year-old. And it
Right.
kind of, you know, me being honest, it kind of made me a bit afraid. I was like, gosh, could I be like that when I'm at that age? You know, it scared me, right?
It is scary. Yeah, always
Yeah, of
scary.
course.
Yeah.
You know, hearing these things. And the thing is, that was just one of many people I spoke to around those ages who were telling me they were just very unhappy, sort of thing. And I
And you know,
thought, you
Kish,
know,
you mentioned the point when you said people are not living in the present. And I think that's a very good point, because
mm,
quite often most people do not live in the present, and that's why it's called a gift. You need to be in the present, and that's why it's called a gift. Most people, that we think way into the future, or we think in the past, but we are not focused in the present. And I liked what you said. People are always, you know, they 7 days a week, you know, we come into Monday, and they're
yeah.
already looking forward to next Friday. That's why some people say, thank God it's Friday, TGIF.
This is it. Honestly,
Yeah.
like it's crazy, because I thought, you know, if God's blessed us with 7 days in a week, why are we wishing 5 out of the 7 days away? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
You know, and it kind of dawned upon me. I was like, okay, right. Again, I love teaching. I'm still a teacher today. I love the profession, but that's not the only thing I want to have going for me. You know what I mean? So this is me thinking ahead in the future in a good sense, is in I'm preparing. You know, it's that saying, isn't it? If you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail, right?
Right.
It's that saying as it goes. So this is me thinking, okay, right, what else can I do alongside my career, you know, as a job, to set my future up, you know, to set me up for the
Right.
future. I remember one time I was actually out one evening, and I saw this individual, and I love wearing suits, by the way. I love suits, like tailor-made suits that, oh gosh, I
Right.
love them so much. And I saw this one
There was one, you
individual.
look like James Bond. I'm not sure which event that was, but
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
wow, okay.
Well, this is one of my mentors actually, who I'll come on to shortly. But yeah, I saw this individual, a really nice tailored suit. He had a really nice watch on. He just looked the part. You know, he had a nice car, you know, beautiful, everything just looked amazing. And I just wanted to know what he did for a living. So I just walked over to him and I was like, excuse me, sir. I was like, I love the suit, by the way. The watch is incredible. You know, what is it you do for a living? And that's where it all started. You know, he told me, he was
That's
like, oh,
amazing.
I'm an
Wow.
investor, you know, I'm an entrepreneur, I do this, I do that. And I was like, wow.
Wow.
I was like, have you always done that? Or, you know, what else have you done before?
Mm.
And he said to me, oh, I used to be an assistant head teacher in a high school.
Oh, wow.
I was
What
like,
a
I'm a
transition.
school teacher right now. Like, how did you go from that career to where you are
It
now?
was almost like a synergy. Like, you know, you are a teacher right
Yeah,
now currently, and he was a
yeah,
teacher. So
yeah.
what he's doing right now as an investor. So it's almost like a synergy. And it's almost like, Kish, I always believe in there's no such thing as coincidences. It was like it's meant to be. You were meant
100.
to find this guy, and you clicked, and you wanted to learn as to what he has done, how he is successful, what he has done in his lifetime, that propelled you to learn more about him and to perhaps have a successful life as well. So my
This is it.
question, since you have, you know, it's absolutely amazing the trajectory that you have made to where you are today.
Yeah.
Why is it that most people fail? Because we all try to strive in life, okay? We all strive for the success, the excellence that we want in life, whether it be at school. We all wanted to get like good grades, you know, A grades. Our parents always said you need to get A grades. So we always strived in excellence, whether it be at school, whether it be in our business, in our vocation. But why
100%.
do most people fail in life?
Honestly, like most people fail in life because they have broken focus. That's it.
I love
Most
that.
people fail in life because they have broken focus. See, people have a broken focus because they lack clarity in what they want.
Oh, I
See,
love
if
that.
you ask any successful person, this is why asking questions is so important, but not just asking questions, asking high quality questions.
Yeah,
See, the questions you ask will determine the answers you receive, and the answers that you receive will help you dictate on which path you take on where you want to go.
exactly. Because your quality of
See,
your questions will determine the quality of your answers.
this is it. See,
Mhm.
because I walked up to that individual and I asked him these questions.
Right.
He's actually one of my mentors today who took me under his wing and he mentored me.
Oh,
See,
nice.
the
Nice.
thing is people ask, is there a shortcut to success? And there is.
There is.
The shortcut to having a success is having a mentor, because your mentor, and the thing is, you can't just get a mentor like that. You need to prove yourself to become a mentee. See, there are a lot of people who want to be mentored, but
Right.
the fact of the matter is when you go through trials and tribulations, which will link into my part about broken focus in a minute, is when there comes, when you have trials and tribulations, we need to be able to show that we're worthy of the mentorship that can allow us to receive the results that we wish to gain. I truly believe that, because going back onto my point about focus, see, when we have broken focus, we lack clarity, because
Yes.
we don't know where we're going. We don't know what direction we're going in. We're not setting goals. We're not setting targets. See, what I think is so important is you need to write down what you want in life. You have to write it down.
You have
It
to
has
write.
to be done. Because what happens is, I read this study once where if you actually write what you want, if you write it from pen onto paper, it sends I don't want to quote the number because I'm not sure right now, but it sends so many signals to your brain that starts to manifest and make these things happen. Like, I'm pretty sure all of us have heard, about the law of attraction and things like that, right?
The secrets. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The late Bob Proctor spoke about all these things. It's absolutely fantastic. But there are 12 laws in the universe, and that's not what's spoken about enough. See, one law is law of attraction. Yes, but there's another law, the law of action. See, there's one thing, writing it down, but then the law of action coincides with the law of attraction, where you need to go out there and make it happen.
That's right. That's
Do you
right.
know what I'm saying? And the
Yeah.
reason why, a lot of us fail is because we lack clarity. We're not setting goals. See, if I asked you, Alka, right now, okay, let's say, Alka, I said to you, okay, you're gonna go on a cruise. You're gonna go to cruise ship, right?
I was just
And
thinking about the cruise anyway.
yeah, this is it. And you're starting off in one destination. Let's say the Caribbean, right? You're in the Caribbean. So you've boarded the cruise and you get on there, and the captain turns around and says, and on Alka, he says to you on the cruise ship, makes an announcement and says, okay, guys, I don't know where we're going to end up. We're just going to get on this cruise and we're just going to sail into the ocean.
Exactly.
Okay,
I'll be the first one to just walk off the ship, because...
Would you still stay on the ship?
No, I wouldn't. I'll walk off because I don't trust the guy.
On there, I'd be grabbing my bags. I'd be jumping off the board. Like, I would not be like, if the captain didn't know where he was going, I would not feel safe.
Exactly.
See,
I would want my money back and I would just walk off.
Exactly. See, apply that concept to our life. If we don't know where we're going, how can we not lead ourselves? It doesn't make sense. Right. We need to have the same concept. We need to know where we're going.
That's right.
See? That's why when you have the clarity, when you have the vision, no matter what happens, if you keep the vision in your mind, you're not going to get phased by what happens, because you know that what you are wanting, as long as you work towards it, is inevitable. Exactly. What I'm going to do, Alka, actually, is I'm going to go onto Google, and I want to give you a definition, right? So if I go onto Google right now, and I read you the definition for future, okay? Because all these things that we're doing, like writing our goals out, things like this, is very, very important when I come to this. So this is on Google, okay? So I've just typed in future. I'm looking at the definition for future right now.
Right.
It says this: a period of time. So this is definition for future, okay? A period of time following the moment of speaking or writing, time regarded as still to come. Let me break that down. The definition for future says a period of time following the moment of speaking. See, we need to speak our goals. Anything that comes after I am is important. I am are the two most powerful words in the dictionary. I am
Exactly.
powerful. I am
Exactly.
abundant.
I am. Mm-hmm.
We need to say all of these things. Because why? Because the words we speak shape the world we live in. If we look at the word world, WORLD, if we take away the L, it spells word. See, the words we speak shape
It's
the
the
world we
world.
live in.
Absolutely. And
I'll
that
give you
is
another
so
one.
powerful. That is
If we
so
look at the words,
powerful.
if we look at the word clear, within the word clear, CLEAR, we have the word ear. The only way we can
Right.
be clear on our goals is how often are we speaking them, because we hear them.
We
Do you see
hear
what
them.
I'm saying?
Yes. You know,
The
and
more
it's
we
so cool when you dissect it like that, people
Mm,
can really then get to know, okay, what do they have to do? You know, because writing your goals, saying your affirmations, like I say my affirmations, you know, every time, like throughout the day, I'm saying my affirmations. It doesn't have to be first thing in the morning, but
mm,
you do say your affirmations more often if you want to, if you can, because the better. And the more you say it, at least that's what I do. I say my affirmations, and then, you know, because universe listens to what you're saying. And so you need to
100%.
write your goals down, pen and paper, like you said, and then you want to say your affirmations out loud so that the universe will conspire to give you what you want.
I have this one quote that's always stuck by me, and it says this. It
Yeah.
goes,
Mm.
write the vision,
Hmm.
make it plain, so those who see it will run. Write
Oh,
the
wow.
vision, make it plain, so those who see it will run. See, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. See, one
Hmm.
thing I truly believe, right, and one thing like I've tried to brand myself all about is hard work. Not hard work, heart work.
Artwork.
See, if you work harder on your heart, everything else will come through. See, now how do we protect our energy? See, because life is going to happen to us. It's inevitable. Life is going to happen no matter what, but how we react determines how successful we can be in the long run,
Hmm.
because we need
Right.
to we need to protect our energy. There's a lot of noise in the world, especially with social media, like news
Oh,
headlines,
yes.
and
So
all these
much
things.
noise
There's a lot of
around.
noise out there, but
Yeah.
how can we guard our heart? We have our eye gates and our ear gates. We
Hmm.
need to control what we listen to. We need to control what we see. See, if we continue to write our goals out and hear and speak our goals a lot more, it comes back to the definition of future. Again,
Hmm.
look, it says this is the pure definition for future. A period of time following the moment of speaking. So I've just spoken about speaking or
Hmm.
writing your goals out. Time regarded as still to come. As long as you do those things
Yeah.
alongside the law of action, going out there and trying to make things happen, it is
Right.
inevitable. You will make these
Exactly.
things happen.
Exactly. And you know, most of us, we're always constantly, we want something now, but we get impatient. I know that was for me, so I can attest that
Yeah.
I am impatient, and you know, and sometimes I would say to myself, well, how come it's not happening? How come? But the question is, we should not, and I then began to stop my mind chattering, and I don't focus on the how, because the how will happen as long as we put in the actions, as long as we know what we are striving for and
Mm.
towards the, you know, it will just happen because universe knows when to give to you, and he knows as to when is the right time. So do you think, in your experience, do you think it's timing is everything? Because although, like you said, we can't, you know, time everything, we can't, what we want, we can't sort of go forward, but we need to allow that time to come by to what we want. So in your experience, from what you had done, so as a teacher, and you met this gentleman you were mentioning, so what was that time like for you when you saw this gentleman to when you began to take the actionable steps to make that, you know, come true for you, for what you
Of course.
wanted?
It was scary, very scary, because it
Yeah.
was out of the ordinary for me. I was
Right.
comfortable teaching in my career. I was
Right.
comfortable, waking up in the morning, going to work, doing what I had to do there, come home, train, do house errands. I was comfortable with that. But
Yeah.
then, obviously, when I was fortunate enough to have this mentor who took me under his wing, he said to me, he was like, okay, look, how badly do you want this? That's the
Yeah.
first question he asked me. Is like, how badly do you want this? I was
Right.
like, really bad. Like, I'll do whatever to make it happen. I'm
Mm-hmm.
determined. Because
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing I have about me, you know, if I want something, I'll be very, very determined to get it. I just have to work hard. It's just something that I've always had, you know,
You
growing
do
up. So
whatever it takes mentality.
100%, you know, never give up attitude. You got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he said to me, okay, right, well, you need to identify why you want it. Who are you doing it for? Because when you have, and again, it comes back to when you have a challenge, when you have adversity hit you,
Yeah,
how are you going to react? You know, I think
that's right.
Mike Tyson said this. Mike Tyson said this once. He goes, everyone always has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Exactly. Yes.
Metaphorically, everyone has a plan
How do
until
you
they
get
get
up?
punched in the face.
Yes.
How do you get back up once you've been
Mm-hmm.
punched in the face? See,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we will get multiple punches in the face.
Oh
They
yeah.
happen.
But they
Look at
still
what
lay
happened with
down.
COVID in the pandemic. You know, a lot of people laid down. We were out cold. I admit it. I found it very challenging. You know, being on lockdown, for example, is very, very tough right then. But to go back onto that, you know, it just comes down to how badly you want these things. Like, there's this one book I recommend, you know, a lot of people to read. It's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
That's an
And
amazing book.
the
Yeah.
first chapter in that book talks about desire.
Mm-hmm.
It talks about desire.
Yes.
Why? Because every successful person has a burning desire. A burning desire, not just a desire, a burning
Burning
desire.
desire.
Burning
Exactly.
desire meaning that it is on the forefront of their mind the whole time. They have an emotional connection with their goal. Not
Exactly.
just, they're not thinking about it, they have an emotional connection with their goal.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes when I used to speak about some of my goals before I hit them, you know, I used to tear up sometimes because I had such a strong emotional connection with that goal.
Right.
I felt like it was already done. I felt like I was experiencing the goal. Even though I wasn't in the present, I
Right.
was living in the future, but acting as if it was
Was
already
in the
done.
present. Yeah. Like it was happening right now. Yeah.
Exactly. This is it.
And you know, and
And
Kish, that is the
mm,
magic. That is the
mm,
magic when we begin to, you know, emotionalize and we have the feeling. So I think it always starts with the feeling. We are the feeling behind the goals,
mm.
because that's what I am doing currently as well. Like whatever goals I have, I make sure that it comes from the emotional, the feeling part of it, so that it truly materializes. And I want to just go back to the point that you mentioned, because when we begin to, like, you know, the pandemic, 2019, 2020 was challenging for every one of us around the world. And for most people, they didn't have contact with anyone. So we were all at home and everyone was on Zoom. So people begin to react instead of being proactive, because, and I feel that you need to be not have the stance when it comes to reactive, because reactive is a negative energy. And as entrepreneurs, we are solution makers. We have the solution. So we need to be proactive rather than reactive. So what would you say when it comes to, we talked about failure, why most people fail. So would you say that they are more reactionary, they react rather than being proactive? So you know, you need to be responsible as entrepreneurs. We need to take responsibility. So do you think that's also a factor as to why most people fail, and why, like you also said about clarity, you need the focus?
I agree. Like, I think the thing is, what's very difficult is,
Hmm.
you know, we're all human beings.
Yes.
And as human beings, we have emotions.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is I read this book once. It's called Emotional Intelligence 2.0.
Oh wow.
That book changed my dynamics and perspective massively,
Mhm.
because it helps you understand how to react in different situations. Now, don't get me wrong, this is me being completely realistic. When I've been in a situation, I've not grabbed the book to quickly find how do I react, how do I react. No,
Right.
like you've got to practice it over a period of time. This is where patience comes in,
That's
you
right.
know.
Mhm.
And I think the thing that's really important is, you know, as humans, we can react emotionally to decisions. You know, it's like, for example, if you had a candle, okay, and you put your finger through the flame, you're going to get a reaction. The reaction is you've got to quickly pull your hand away.
Right.
Right. See, if we identified the problem before becoming the problem, if we just realize, actually, no, I shouldn't put my finger through this flame because I could get hurt.
Exactly. You get burnt. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like you tried to play with fire, you got burnt. See,
Right.
what the thing is in life, we need to, and again, don't get me wrong, this is going to happen all the time. This takes time to practice. I've been practicing this now for about 2 years. I look at when I first started 2 years ago compared to now, there's progress. Is there still room for more improvement? Of course there is. Never the finished product.
I mean, we're always constantly improving.
Exactly. We have to be evolving every single day, you know? And I think the thing what's really important is to respond, not react. See, what we do a lot of the times is we react to what has happened. Whereas what we need to do is sometimes to take a minute, take a deep breath, assess, just in our minds, just understand what has taken place and then respond logically, you know, because that's the way things got to happen. And my ethos is always just be a good person, have a good heart, do the right thing, and things will naturally happen. You know, there's gonna be times where you're gonna fail, but see, what determines our character is how we react from these things, you know. I truly believe, you know, one thing I hear a lot of people as well, when people are becoming entrepreneurs, they always say, you know, oh, that person got lucky, this person got lucky, that person got lucky. But see, for me, what I truly believe is gifts can get you into the room, but character will determine whether you stay in the room or not.
Exactly. And I love that. Character will determine, because everything is based on your character. Because character, and that's a good point too. So character and together with integrity. And I find that as entrepreneurs, and individuals too, we need to have the good standing character, because your character is everything. For example, if you say, I say to Kish, okay, I will meet you at such and such time. And I always like to keep to my word. It doesn't matter, you know, who it is, my colleagues, my clients. I like to keep my word. And if I say to you, Kish, I will meet you at such and such time, I will make sure I'm there 5 minutes late. So that is not just your character. Well, that is your character building. You need to have the good character, and trust also comes from character. But also, so when you talk about your ethos, we all need to cultivate that as entrepreneurs. So, you know, I like the word, don't get ready, but stay ready. Now, that's always been me, and that's me today. It doesn't matter what opportunity. And I love to, you know, wherever there's an opportunity, and I know if it doesn't have to be real estate, but it could be any opportunity. So I am always staying ready for that moment to come. What is your philosophy when you look at not just get ready for the part, if you're an actor, not just get ready, but staying ready all the time? So if somebody knocks on your door, Kish, and say, hey, we've got a part for you, I love that, staying ready. What is your ethos when it comes to don't get ready, but stay ready?
The thing what's really important though is that in order for you to stay ready, you need to practice what you preach. See, there are a lot of actors in this world and actresses in this world. And it's very important to know, you know, your results will be dictated upon what you do behind closed doors. See, if you're doing the right things consistently behind closed doors, you're automatically going to be ready anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? See, if you're doing, in terms of being successful, if you're doing, you know, the affirmations, if you're writing out the goals and whatever line of business you're doing, let's say network marketing, for example, let's say, you know, you're going out there, you're prospecting, you're building the business, you're sharing your business through word of mouth and building it. As long as you're doing that consistently and that's a part of your habit, it's going to be inevitable anyway. See, there's one book I've read, Atomic Habits, by James Clear. He talks about this so much. See, that for me, I'm all about, okay, how can I act upon this? How can I create solutions, right?
Right.
For me, in order to stay ready, I need to make sure I have the right habits. Okay, well, how can I build the right habits? What can I read that can help me build the right habits? Atomic Habits by James Clear. I've got this book right here. Like,
That's
and
amazing. Wow.
the reason why I love this book so much is because it teaches you how to build the correct habits. It takes 21 days to build a habit, 90 days to build a lifestyle.
That's
right.
You
know, in this book, it talks about this one individual who wants to go to the gym. You know, he wants to lose weight. He wants to go to the gym, but he's always hated going to the gym. So for 21 days, he went to the gym for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. He went to the gym. He sat in the gym. He like sat on a machine, like did one exercise, and then he left. But he did that consistently for 21 days.
Right.
See, the reason why that's so important is because when it came to the 22nd day, he felt weird not going to the gym.
Oh, right. Yes. That something was missing.
He built the habit up. Then when he did that, he built it up progressively. And then as he built it up progressively, you know, he's in phenomenal shape now because he went and built the habit first. So my ethos in terms of, you know, staying ready is just building the right habits. You build the right habits, you're going to make things happen. Again, I'm all about giving solutions to people because I'm a practical guy. See, in terms, you know, what we spoke about earlier about, you know, saying our affirmations, I used to be thinking, well, when am I going to say my affirmations? What I used to do, Alka, literally on my phone, I used to go into my timer, my alarms over here.
Right.
I'd set an alarm every hour, go onto my phone, read my affirmations. Like, I can't make this, I'll practice what I preach. Like, if I come onto my notes over here on my phone, I'll show you. I have all this saved over here. Affirmations right there. Look, affirmations. I have all of them here.
Oh, amazing.
That I read. I'll just pick 5, 6 at random. Best way. Like, we got to practice what that will help us stay ready. Because see, when the opportunity will come, we're ready. See, for me, again, look, oh gosh, I love this. See, the reason why we may not be having the opportunity right now is
that's what I want you to share, Kish, as to your amazing knowledge. Share with us.
See, the reason why some of us may not be having the success we want now or the opportunities we want now is because we're not ready for it. See, the reason why we've not been given that opportunity right now is because if we took the opportunity currently at this moment in time, we might not make the opportunity a success. Right. See, and Bob Proctor taught this. He goes, you know, we're all on frequencies. We're all on a level playing frequency. Some of us are on a higher frequency than others. Okay, you're in Canada right now. I'm in London. How is it we're having this call right now?
Right.
Signal is being sent from my laptop all the way up into space and back down all the way to you in Canada. That's the law. That's what's happening right now.
Right. Yeah.
Right? See, we're currently, some of you who are listening right now, may be on a particular frequency right now, and that's okay. But the goal you want, your frequency, what you're on is here. But what you want, the goal you want, that frequency is up here. See, how do we get to that frequency up there? We ourselves have to raise our level of frequency to match that opportunity. When we raise our level of frequency to get that match of opportunity, only then we will receive the success and the opportunity and the abundance of all of that. But here's the question. How do we raise our level of frequency? We read books. We listen to audio tapes. We write out our goals. We have conversations like this that are helping us elevate, as opposed to having conversations where we're talking negatively about people.
That's right. And most people, we do.
And things like that. That's where sometimes we are detriment to our own downfall. That's what happens, you know? That's why it's so important to protect your energy and see who you surround yourself with. See, for me, what I did is, and this is, I'm telling you all, these are things that I've done that's helped me change my mindset to where it is today. What I did when I first got started in my journey is I wrote down 10 people. And those 10 people were the 10 people that I spoke to the most on a daily basis.
That's good. Yeah.
And then what I did is I looked, is that person giving me energy and elevating me? Or are they taking away energy from me? Are they draining me?
Right.
I had to have honest conversations with myself about this.
And
when I identified that, I realized, okay, I now need to know who I need to not cut people out of my life, because I'm not rude. Like, I'd never be rude, but who do I need to distance myself a little bit from?
Right. And
And now,
exactly. And those are the two differences. Who do you need to just stay away from, or who do you need to just let go? I mean, as human beings, we are always constantly evolving, not just entrepreneurship, but even in entrepreneurship, when it comes to business, when it comes to making decisions, aligning with those people as well. We need to just cut some people off, because they can only come with us as far as they did. Okay. And I can attest this as well. I've just let go of so many people in my life, only because I too began to realize they're not really fulfilling my potential. They're not really supportive of me. They were not really there for me. And so I just had to cut the cord and just let them go. And Kish, sometimes when we just let go of people, or we let go of everything else in our life, we need to let go of things to have things come into us. But the only way we can let things come into our lives, whether it's people, money, we need to let go of those to start with. And I really believe that. Like, I mean, I've done so much of soul searching and cleansing, just letting go of people. And because I have done that, I too have found it's just, you feel light, don't you? You feel light, you feel good.
Oh God, let's do a physical representation of what you just said now, right?
Let's do
If
it.
you hold your hand out like this, right? And now what I want you to do is I want you to close your fist,
right.
And I want you to squeeze real tight, okay? See, what some of us are doing in life right now is we're holding on to what we have so much, where we're not letting go, where we're afraid of the unknown, we're holding on to what we have so much, that if we just open our hands, we will then be able to receive the abundance of opportunities that can be placed in our life. But in order for something new to come in, something else has to be removed.
That's right.
And that ties in so beautifully what we said about that, because I truly believe that too. And I think also in the sense about, letting go and distancing and some things like that, one of my other mentors actually did say to me one time, he goes, Kish, look, you're going to have more success probably with strangers than some of your closest friends. And I said, why is that? And he said to me, because he was like, the thing is your strangers don't know where you've come from. They can only see where you're at now. People that are closest to you, some will be happy for you, but some won't. Some will have a hard time seeing you progress, and they won't like the fact that you might be getting further ahead in some areas than they are. See, people want you to do good, just not as better as them.
Well, exactly. And there are going to be people that are cheerleaders. They're going to cheer you on. They're going to be supportive of you. Kish, well done. You've entered the world of entrepreneurship. You are just doing amazing. And there are some people, and that's great. But also what I truly also begin to know as well, that if people don't cheer you on, if people don't cheer me on, that is okay. As long as I know who I am. And I love this question. I asked myself this question, Kish. Let me know what is your ethos, what are your principles? Because I start with every morning, I always ask myself, who am I? Because that question relates to when I start off by who am I reflect on that. And what were the learnings that I got from who am I? That is a powerful question too. And I love that. And every morning I always start with who am I? Because then that will lead to what are some of the things that I'm focusing on, my goals and opportunities to come. What is your stance when it comes to what is some of your principles that you have cultivated today in your life to where you were and where you are today? And then I just want to touch on the mental health as well.
Sure. I think for me, in terms of, what helps me cultivate to who I am today is just gratitude. It's just gratitude and investing into yourself, whether it be financially, spiritually, religiously, whatever we believe in, anything like that. You know, the biggest investment that we can make is in ourselves.
That's right.
And, you know, before I got into entrepreneurship, I used to feel guilty spending on me. You know, if I wanted to get something, I'd always think twice. Oh, should I? No, I'm not sure. Whereas now, you know, the amount of books that I've bought for myself, the amount of courses, conventions that I've gone to, personal development wise for myself, it's made me realize I need to do these things in order to grow. And every single morning, you know, for me, what I like to do when I wake up in the morning is just think, what am I grateful for? How can I want to start the day as I mean to go on. I want to have high vibrational energy as I start the day. You know,
That's
people
right.
always say to me, Kish, where'd you get this energy from? Kish, how are you so positive? How are you so hyper all the time? And I'm just like, well, it's just gratitude. We have so many things to be grateful for. We're walking, we've got mobility, we've got light, we've got shelter, we've got food, we've got
we can
clothes,
breathe.
we've got everything. Exactly. We could do everything and anything. It's powerful. How can we not be positive and so happy and vibrating in high frequencies? It's powerful, you know. So for me, it always starts with gratitude. What can we be grateful for? Anytime I feel down, anytime I feel stressed, anxious, angry, any of these emotions, I just try and remind myself, let me stop, find 3 things that I'm grateful for around me. And magically, it helps me to relax and just works wonders.
So entrepreneurship and leadership is a mental game. So what were the strengths in you? What do you see the strengths in you that called you in to getting into this endeavor as an entrepreneur? What was that? What's that one superpower, would you say, that you have?
It comes to desire. I think it just comes to desire. For me, if I want something, I have a desire to go get it. And I think the thing that's very important to bear in mind is when you have a desire, that doesn't mean you need to know all the answers in how you're going to get it. You just need to know that you are going to get it and have faith in the inevitable that it will happen one day. You know, I remember I set myself a goal one time. My goal was to get a car, you know, to get a new car. What I used to do, people call me crazy for this, but I had the burning desire. I didn't care what anyone said because I wanted it and I knew I was going to get it. I used to go to the showroom and I used to go into the showroom. I used to sit in the car. I used to experience the car. I used to take it for test drives. I used to have pictures of it everywhere. In my old car, I used to drive a VW Polo and a Volkswagen Polo. And I used to imagine that I was driving in my Mercedes. I pictured the Mercedes symbol. I went even far as sometimes printing out a picture of the Mercedes symbol and sticking it over the VW sign.
Right.
And what was happening, because I was experiencing it so much, going to the showrooms, taking it in test drives, like the people in the showroom were thinking, is this guy gonna buy this car? What? Like, he just keeps coming every week to test drive this car. What's he doing? Right. But what I did is I was experiencing it, because everything accumulates through our 5 senses. What are we seeing? What are we hearing? What are we touching? What are we smelling? I used to smell the interior, take it in. So then when I went back to my old car, to my old environment, I felt uncomfortable. That fueled my desire to make these things happen, you know. And then obviously, you know, a year later, we got the car. I made it happen. The exact car that I wanted, a year later, I bought it because
that's amazing.
I had the desire. That's my superpower, I'd say, is having the desire, you know. And how do we do these things? See, one thing that I think is very important is you have to have that emotional connection. See, if we go backwards, I'm all about formulas, okay? All about formulas. See, if we go backwards from the result we want, okay? So if we want a particular result, we need to do particular actions,
right?
Okay. So every actions create a result, right? Let's go back one step further. So the result we want, we need to do some actions. Now, in order to do some actions, we need to be feeling a type of way. Okay. It's like, if I'm going to have an effective workout in the gym, I need to be feeling strong. I need to be feeling fueled up. I need to be feeling ready to go. Okay. So now if we go through in order again, feelings will determine our actions. Actions will be determining our results. So if we want a particular result, we need to determine our actions. To determine our actions, we need to be feeling a particular type of way. How can we make sure we are feeling high energy all the time? Reading the right books, speaking to the right people, writing our goal. I can't make this up. This is it's like the law.
It's true. No, it's true. Yes. Yeah.
You know, like we need to be feeling a type of way to be doing actions, and then our actions will create our results.
That's
Feelings
right.
dictate our actions, actions dictate our results. Let me give you one more thing as well. Desire plus skill. See, we need, this is the success formula. Okay, this is written. This is the success formula. Desire, based on what we've just spoken about, you need to want something. What do you want? Like anyone who gets into entrepreneurship, what do you want? What do you want in life? What do you want to gain in your venture, anything like that? You know, your desire plus skill. You need to learn a few skills. For me, I'm in the investing space. So I do Forex, I do cryptocurrency, I build up passive income projects, you know, all things like that. So you need to learn a few skills. See, for me, when I was learning how to trade, I had to learn some skills. I had to learn how to read the charts. I had to learn, you know, what makes a fantastic project to invest in, what makes a not so good project to invest in. I had to learn those skills. So you got desire plus skill multiplied by faith.
Yes.
Desire plus skill multiplied by faith. See, we need to do all of these things, which is inevitable. But see, we can't predict the future. We need to have faith in what we're doing. See, faith is moving forward in the ability of not seeing what's in front of you.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's the scary thing about entrepreneurship.
You
don't know what's going to happen sometimes. But you just got to have faith, knowing that what you're doing and everything is going to work out in the right way. As long as you have the right people around you, the right mentorship, the right work ethic, you're good to go.
Exactly. And touching base on that, so you are the average of 5 people that you surround yourself with. And that is so true. Every day we need to be just be aligned with those people, you know, finding the right people who support you, who are there for you. It doesn't matter in your good times, but also in your bad times. And I too, you know, I see that there are some people that are not for you in your bad times, but they will come to you in the good times, no matter what. So also, Kish, you are an advocate when it comes to mental health. And I just wanted to touch base on that because I think it's very, very important that we do touch base on this because as we know, 2019, 2020, in the pandemic hit, and we were all, as we said, we were at home and we were isolated. We didn't have contact with people. So when it comes to mental health and people's mental health, really suffered, and you know, businesses were people lost their businesses, people lost their jobs. If you would only had that one job, the one income, you were that sole breadwinner and you lost your job, well, it was unfortunate to see families suffer. So people suffered. So when it comes to mental health, I truly believe that we need to pay, you know, focus our attentions to mental health. What is your opinion, and how do you navigate, or how are you navigating, or how can people in general navigate themselves and support mental health right now, today? What can people do when it comes to mental health? Because it's a stigma, right? It's a stigma. What can people do?
Journaling. I think there's a few things I'd like to share. I think the biggest thing is journaling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Our mind is so powerful.
It
Our
is,
thoughts
yes.
are extremely powerful too.
Oh yeah.
And what can happen is sometimes we can get into a point where it's like the snowball effect. We can have one thought come into our mind, but then it can grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and end up as a bigger thing than it actually is. So when I say journal, I think it's important, you know, just to write out how you're feeling. Just write out how you're feeling on a piece of paper. There's been some days, and I've recommended this to a few people as well, and they've said it's helped them a lot, is where when you're feeling a particular way, just empty your thoughts out onto paper. And you'll feel a lot better once you've done that. And then depending on what it is that you've written on your paper, if it helps you, just get the paper, scrunch it up, rip it up, whatever, throw it away sort of thing. You know, I think that's one thing that's very, very important too. Journaling obviously is very, very key. Like I look at, you know, one thing I think that's very important with journaling, people journal in different ways. For me, I think what's really good when journaling is you want to look at how could you create and evolve. So on your piece of paper, in your book, like for example, over here, if I have this notebook over here, right, empty notebook, I'd draw a line down the middle and I'd put the date. I'd put, what can I create? How can I evolve? What things can I do today that can help me create the lifestyle that I want? Okay. And I'll write that out there. How can I evolve? What things can I do today that can help me evolve as a person even more today? It could be listening to an audio tape. It could be reading 10 pages in a book. It could be speaking to someone who's more knowledgeable than me in my area of field, so I can learn some more things from them. What things can I create today? I could go to the gym to help me feel good. I can cook a nice meal. I could spend some time with loved ones. I could do this, I could do that. Things like that, that will help the mental health, which is very important. But I also truly believe like personal development is very, very key with mental health.
It is, yeah.
Because when you listen to the right things and you feed your mind the right way, it's very important. Like the way I look at it in my mind, right? I like to give, you know, scenarios, and I like to give like anecdotes and analogies. Sorry, that's what I was looking for. Analogies. I like to give analogies, right? Now in our mind, we have two foxes. Okay, our mind is like a garden, and we have two foxes inside our mind in this garden. One fox is negative, one fox is positive. So you've got the negative fox and you've got the positive fox, and they're both in your mind every single day, and they're battling each other. They're scrapping against each other. They're scrapping for food. Now, what's their food? Our thoughts. See, if we have more negative thoughts, the negative fox is going to win the battle. He's going to get more food.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas if the positive fox wins the battle, he needs more positive thoughts. Everything comes through our thoughts. Now, how do we control our thoughts? By what we listen to and what we see. What did I say at the beginning of this podcast? We guard our heart through our eye gates and our ear gates.
Right.
When we're clear, in the word clear, you have ear.
Yeah.
So when we are clear on things that we want, we know how to move forward. What did I say? Well, when you asked me at the beginning, why do most people fail in life? It's because of broken focus. They lack clarity.
Clarity, yeah.
See, when we're clear on what we want, when we know what we need to do, when we know what we want to do on a day-to-day basis, things like that will help. Now, again, how do we learn these things? We speak and we ask questions. So many, I was not like this before. I never used to ask questions. I used to be shy. Like, believe it or not, 10 years ago, I was shy.
Were you shy, really?
Yeah, I was so shy. I didn't know how to talk to people. I was afraid. Like, I used to be shy to even get on the dance floor, like all of this sort of stuff. I was so shy. But
so how do you develop?
So how did you develop? You have to get sick and tired. I was sick and tired of being shy.
True. Yeah.
The pain of staying the same has to be grueling within inside you. And that's what was happening.
Right.
See, I saw people around me growing. I saw people around me developing. I saw people around me hitting their goals. I saw people around me getting praise and developing. And I was frustrated because I was like, I want to do that, but I don't know how. I had to break out of that shell. And see, when I did, I just started running. And one thing that I would recommend to a lot of people, you know, is a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Oh, yeah, that's an amazing book. Yes.
That taught me people skills. That taught me how to communicate. That taught me how to ask the right questions. That taught me how to win friends. You know, I wanted to go out. I wanted to network. I wanted to speak to different people in different professions. I wanted to get to know, you know, people's backgrounds and things like that. And see, that book taught me a lot of principles, how to do that more confidently. Now, don't get me wrong. The first time I tried to do something like that, I was terrible. I stuttered a few times. I was like, oh,
but that's okay. You try. You give it a try. You try it. It's like, you know, not doing something and then saying, oh, I wish I could have done that. But you know, you need to do it. You need to try it. And I want to just bring on the point what you just said. So we need to get out of the uncomfortable to be comfortable, because it's the unknowing. Like, you know, you mentioned what you couldn't approach people, and so sometimes in different situations we need to get out of the uncomfortable, and that could be even doing like a social media live. For most people, it's like, oh my God, I've got to do a live. Well, yes, you have to. If you as an entrepreneur, or if you in your job requires you to do lives, you have to do it. You have to make sure that you do a live, even though, and Kish, I like to also, if you are shy, I also have the view that if you are shy, you need to be in front of the camera. You need to do a live, because that will propel you to get you out of your shyness. So I just want to touch base on what you just said, that there are sometimes we have to get out of the uncomfortable to be in the comfortable.
I see, everything you want is outside of your comfort zone. It's inevitable. Everything you want is outside of your comfort zone. And I think, you know, even advice, you know, for people who are shy, you know, I remember me when I did my first Instagram live, I actually did it with someone else. I did it with a friend.
That's a good,
Because
yeah,
I was too scared to do it by myself. I was like, let's just do little baby steps, build it up from there.
That's
you
good.
know, and did it like that sort of thing. Now, you know, I put me on a live in front of 1,000 people. I'll talk all day. I'm happy with that now. But it started from that one moment, just doing an IG live for 5 minutes with a friend.
Right, that's
just
good.
Talk. And then, you know, I build it up to 10 minutes, then to 15 minutes. Then sometimes, you know, I think what I felt really more comfortable with it was I forgot I was even on an IG live. I thought I was just talking to a friend on FaceTime.
Right.
But I was on an IG live. That's when I went feeling more comfortable with it. And that's when I was like, okay, right, now I'm ready to do it by myself. You know, we started doing it by myself, and then I started doing cool. You know, my biggest now, and again, this is coming from someone who is very, very shy, right? The biggest Zoom call I've done speaking in front of an audience is about 800 people.
Wow.
And then in terms of public speaking, the biggest audience I've spoken in front of is about 1,400 people as well.
Wow, that is amazing. Good for you. Wow,
So
that's amazing.
it
Yes.
just had to happen. You know, for me, I was like, I want to be that guy where people can look up to and be like, oh, that guy's got posture, he's got confidence. How's he done that? He's humble, but confident at the same time. How's he done that? See, I just saw people who were like that, and I had the desire to want to be like that too.
Exactly.
And then the rest is history from there. So yeah.
Well, as I said, the rest is history. But you know what? You've created that history. You've created from being the shy individual to now who is dynamic, who is making those moves, and now who's dynamic in any endeavor that you are right now. You are just making those moves, and that is what I love, and that is what I love bringing on entrepreneurs like yourself to my show, because it really enhances and really elevates other individuals, viewers who are listening, to know that they can do it, that the world out there is possible. So I love the word, you know, the word impossible should not be in your vocabulary, because the mere word impossible that people say, oh, I can't do this, is impossible. It is, I am possible. That is powerful. Love that. And when I heard someone say that impossible means I am possible, that is a game changer right there. And so I love to bring people on like you, because you truly have shown and you have paved the path to where other individuals who are wanting to be more dynamic like you, who are shy. I mean, I would not have thought of that you were shy, but if you were, to how you are today, you're making these amazing dynamic moves. People can truly want to be inspired. So it truly is amazing as to what you've discovered in yourself, to the potential you have and what you are doing today. I'm so excited, Kish, to see your journey progress to where you are going to be. I'm excited. Do keep us posted on what is happening in your journey. But we have come to the end of the show. And Kish, I truly want to thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, taking out your time.
Thank you so much, Alka, for having me on this show. Honestly, I've really appreciated it, and yeah, I can't wait to hopefully do more in the future as well. Once I've hit a few more goals, I'm more than happy to come back on again and rock it with you. So yeah,
absolutely. You know, come with us, come and join us anytime. But to end off, where can people reach you if they want to learn more about you? Yes.
100%. So I'd say the best way is on Instagram. So my Instagram handle is at Kish Bali, KISHBALI. I'm open to all queries. You know, like I said, if anyone is interested in getting into, you know, the investing space, whether it be through Forex or investing into cryptocurrency, or if anybody wants, you know, to create any passive income streams for themselves. I have a big network, you know, where we deal with a lot of these things internationally as well. So, you know, more than happy to work with anyone. I love working with new people, and yeah, I can't wait to create, you know, more success stories in the near future as well. So yeah, let's
We'd
get it.
love to hear more of your success stories.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Alka. Thank you.
Thank you, Kish. Thank you so much for coming on. And ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the show, but thank you so much for tuning in, and stay tuned for more Ask the Experts with Alka, where I bring on amazing entrepreneurs. You've heard from Kish today, but I'm going to be bringing on more entrepreneurs who are going to be sharing their story, their journey, that truly are going to inspire you so that you can take action when it comes to your business and life. Whether you are facing adversities and challenges, as we heard from Kish, it is possible that you truly can achieve the life that you want, as Kish has achieved massive success in his life today. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, for more Ask the Experts with Alka.